Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Like I said, if you have been here before, welcome back. So today's video is going to be kind of similar to one that I've done before. If you are a smaller influencer, like a micro influencer, or like someone that wants to get into the social media space, I think this is the video for you. I think you should definitely watch it. We're going to be talking about a brand called Palmpe. It's Palmpe. So they're a brand on Instagram, a fake brand. We're going to be talking about them. I'm kind of going to be using them as an example and also talking about drop shipping, what it means, how it's used, legit companies that use this method, some that don't. And then we're also going to talk about how you can avoid Instagram scammers, how you can pick them out in your DMs or under your photos, and how you can avoid them. I did a video similar to this before. It was more on a legit brand that we're using these methods. I'll throw that up in the cards if you guys want to check that out. But if you are interested in hearing about this brand, how scammy they are, and how to freaking avoid them, then just keep watching. All right, guys, so like I said, I did do one of these. Oh, my hair is like sticking up. Like I said, I did do one of these videos prior. It's a little bit different for my channel. I usually just stick to beauty content, but I think this is a good thing to learn about if you are in the beauty space, or even if you're just like a YouTuber or like a social media person in general, because especially if you are smaller, you will get these kind of messages come into your Instagram inbox, or you'll see them kind of under photos every time that you post. And basically what they look like, I've talked about it in my previous video. It says DM for a collab, DM, such and such brand to work with us, or so on and so forth. And sometimes these are like the people that they've scammed to be brand ambassadors, or they're like fake accounts that are trying to get you to go along with it. So we're going to be talking about this is kind of along with the same video as prior. I'm talking about brand ambassador kind of BS. But in today's video, we're going to talk about Palmpe, because I've received so many private DMs on this, not under my photos, like a couple, but mostly in my actual like inbox on Instagram. They're super annoying. My friend Jasmine here on YouTube said they have reached out to her before as well. Actually, I think she messaged me once and I said, it's Palmpe, isn't it? And it was. So, so what basically Palmpe is, if you go to their Instagram, kind of showing themselves as a jewelry retailer. So they sell like necklaces, bracelets, earrings, things like that. There's only, I think, like maybe like 3 pages of content, maybe a little bit more of products that you can purchase. But essentially why I wanted to talk about them is because they have reached out several times, and I can tell just from what they've sent me that they're full of shit and basically a brand that you should avoid. Also, if you do some research on them and go on like Trustpilot or any of the kind of review sites, almost every commenter says they're a scam except for a couple, and the ones that don't kind of seem like they might work for the company. So something to keep in mind, but definitely one thing I can always say is do your research, like look them up, even look up brands here on YouTube and see if people have done videos on them to see if they're trustworthy, because there's a good chance that they're not. Especially on Instagram, there's tons and tons of these kind of like fake brand ambassador brands that will reach out to you, especially if you're smaller. And basically how this works, we're going to get into kind of how this actually works. So you'll receive, usually, like I said, sometimes under your photo, and then if you DM the actual brand, they'll send you this kind of generic message about joining their company as a brand ambassador. But if you do receive it in your inbox, typically it'll start out with something like really friendly, like, hey girl, hey girlfriend, hey darling, hey beautiful. Like they really try to relate to you. And then they'll kind of go into the spiel about how they've looked at your Instagram, they think you're so amazing, they like your content, and they'd like to collab with you, which for us smaller influencers is super exciting if you kind of don't know what to look for. You're like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I'm so small and this brand wants to work with me. That's going to be amazing. But once they get into the nitty-gritty details, you kind of realize that it's not really a collaboration. You're not really getting anything. They're wanting you to buy product. And usually they will say, you get free product, but you have to pay for shipping. Sketchy. And then you're kind of like, oh, most of us will be like, well, that's still cool because you're getting like quite a bit of product for just a shipping rate. But a lot of times shipping is usually about $20 with these brands. And there is a reason for that. And like I said, we're going to get into the whole drop shipping and probably what's actually happening with that shipping that you're paying. But like I said, I want to talk about the brand Palmpe. So they've reached out to me on Instagram. They sent me several messages. Like, I think I responded back to see like all of the messages they would send. They sent several. And basically they use the term, which is getting used a lot, I notice now. Hey, I'm a brand ambassador. So this wasn't the actual branded account initially that reached out to me. This was one of their like fake accounts, or like one of their brand ambassadors, people that they scammed into buying from them and giving a code. So they reached out and said, hey, I'm a brand manager, which most of these people will say they're a brand manager. It means nothing. They're literally not a brand manager, but they'll say they're a brand manager. They'll reach out to you and say, hey, like I said, they'll tell you they looked at your profile. They think it's awesome. If you want more information, get back to us. So that's what usually happens. They'll give you a very vague message and tell you to reach out. When you reach out and actually ask what they're offering, generally they'll say, hey, they'll offer you up a product. So for Palmpe, they offer up 3 pieces of jewelry for free with a certain code, and there's a code they list. I'm sure, like I said, anyone in the friggin' universe can use it. So you can use this code to get free jewelry. And then they say, as a brand ambassador, you'll always get free shipping, but for your first order, you do have to pay shipping. So for the free product, you have to pay shipping, but then when you pay for the product, you don't have to pay shipping. What? First off, that's like a red flag. Like, why do I have to pay the shipping the first time if the products are free, and then the next time I don't have to pay the shipping? Kind of doesn't make sense, so keep that in mind. So they tell me that they will give me these 3 pieces of jewelry to feature on my Instagram page, and then they will feature me on their page. Their page does have 100 and something thousand followers, but did they buy those followers? Are they legit followers? Probably not. If you look at their actual activity on photos, they don't have much activity. So that's like kind of a red flag for me. Like, there's not a ton of activity on their actual IG page. You should watch out for that as well. A lot of these fake brands now have a ton of followers. It's very easy to buy followers. There's tons of websites that do it for you, and they're not legit, but like when you first look at the page, you might think, hey, they have like 100,000 followers. That's going to be great for me. The chances of you actually getting featured too are like slim to none. Like, they're probably not going to feature you on their page. And if they do, it's going to do little for you because their followers are probably fake, or they did like a follow for follow thing to build up their Instagram. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, they usually will offer or say, hey, you know, you might get a chance to get featured, which is something I think they did mention in their message. They continued on and on about how you'll get like, you know, a discount throughout the time that you're a brand ambassador. You'll get a code so you can earn commission. Chances are no one's going to use that code, and chances are that code is built into the price. Now, if you take a gander at the Palmpe website, that is the biggest red flag of all. Okay, so the first time I went on there was actually spelling mistakes in several parts of the website. I think some of them have been fixed, but there were tons of spelling mistakes. On top of that, the wording was just absolutely ridiculous. There was actually a part in it that was talking about bigger corporations not doing something, but we consume products differently. And I'm thinking consume, I think they used the wrong word in the sentence. Like, do you know what consume means? So when I started seeing all this on the website, I'm like, wow, like they don't even know how to use like proper terminology. And listen, if it's a language barrier, generally if you're an actual brand, you have someone that helps you with that. You don't just post whatever without it being checked or corrected. And also, I checked out their contact us section. Now, the first time I checked it out, there was absolutely nothing for contact us for support. Nothing. There was a support tab with no information. So if you go to the site though now, I checked it before I actually filmed this video, there is a little blurb about being able to get in contact with them 24/7, but only through Instagram. So only through their IG official page. Now, that is not the best method for customer service, just to have Instagram. If you're actually a big brand, would you ever be able to get through all of those like private messages on your Instagram? I don't know. I thought that was strange. Like I said, there was nothing at first, and then that got updated. A hint that like people are just going in and working on the site. And another thing I noticed, if you go onto the brand site, I think it's on the About Us tab, if you scroll down, it says we are now offering a VIB ambassador program. This is only $500 a month, and you'll get a 90% discount. You'll get to go on one trip a year with us to the Maldives, and they list all these places. And there was a couple other benefits. Now, the chances of you getting to go on any type of trip with them is probably slim to none. I'm going to guess that's just a way to get you to pay them $500 a month. $500 a month, guys, that you have to pay them to be part of their VIP ambassador program. I am hoping to God that not that many people have actually signed up for that or mentioned it or asked them about it, because they probably accept anyone. I think that's a new thing too. I don't think that was on the website initially. It was just the normal ambassador program with the 3 free products. But no, there is a VIP one now on their site where you pay them $500 a month to be a brand ambassador. Why do I have to pay you $500 a month to be a brand ambassador for you? You should be paying me to show your product. Like, you're asking me to show your product for free initially to get 3 free pieces. But let's get into those pieces of jewelry. Let's just get into those pieces of jewelry. So if you go on their site, their jewelry ranges from about $45 US to about $60 to $65 US. There may be a few that are more expensive. That's insane. The pictures look nice, but I guarantee those pictures are stock photos. So you could find those same pictures on any website like AliExpress, Wish.com, you know, all those kind of websites that ship out jewelry for really cheap. I guarantee you're going to find those pieces of jewelry on other sites because they just stole the photo and are using it on their site. And chances are that piece of jewelry that you're purchasing or that you're getting for free is like $5 or under, or it could be like a free product on Wish that you get like pay shipping on, because that happens a lot on there. So let's say that necklace is $5, you're paying $60 US. So where is the other $55 US going? It's going to the scammers that you're purchasing from. And the reason they're so willing to offer you 3 pieces of jewelry for free is because it costs probably nothing. You're going to pay them shipping and they're going to profit off that shipping. Then you're going to go on your Instagram, show off their jewelry. You're going to essentially help the scammer and scam other people into buying those shitty products, probably paying the $60 price tag and maybe getting like a discount with your code. Let's say it's 10%. And then the rest of that money is being pocketed by that scammer. So just don't do it, guys. Like, really research the brands that you're actually purchasing from and that you're actually promoting, because you could be promoting a really bad brand like Palmpe to your followers and actually helping a scammer scam more people. And I want you guys to know, just avoid, especially this brand, avoid them, but there's tons. I have 7 different DMs from all these crazy fake Instagram brands in my DMs right now on Instagram. So just avoid them. Don't even respond unless you want to see what kind of bullshit they're going to spin to you. That's kind of what I do just so I can make these videos. But yeah, just avoid them. They're full of shit and their product is going to be garbage. Like I said, if you look them up on Google and go on Trustpilot, almost every single reviewer says they didn't receive the product, or if they did, it was like broken or it was just like garbage. It was really low quality. So that's another red flag. Like, obviously your product is crap, or I'm not going to get the product at all. Most reviewers said they didn't receive anything. So again, they're just trying to make money off you. It's a good way too for them to get your card information. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because you do not want the wrong people getting your credit card information. Whenever you are dealing with any online brand though, if they do have PayPal, I'd recommend PayPal because they can kind of help you out in getting money back, but I don't even know if they offer that. Probably not. I think it's just a credit card method. But yeah, going back to their site, there's very little info on the site. About Us section, which talks about how they're inspired by a palm tree, which I don't really understand how that has anything to do with jewelry, but okay, you're inspired by a palm tree. The whole thing reads just completely fake, and it drives me insane. But yeah, it's like support us, about us, shop, and then like the brand ambassador page, which I think shows up as soon as you go on the website. So that's really what they're pushing for, is for you to like sign up for these brand ambassador programs to make them money for nothing. You get nothing out of this collaboration, which therein, like I said, is not a collaboration if you're not getting anything and they're only benefiting from you. So screw them. They are scammers. But yeah, one of the methods they are using, so I kind of am going to roll on into this. I want to talk about drop shipping. So if you're not aware, drop shipping essentially is when a retailer or a person doesn't carry inventory. So when you place an order, they place an order to a manufacturer and it's shipped out. So it's an already manufactured product or something that's manufactured really quickly, and then that manufacturer just ships it out to you. Therein, they really don't cover any of the shipping fees. It's all on the manufacturer. They don't really do anything. They don't have to carry inventory. They don't have to spend money on inventory. And they don't really even have to like ever come across or see the product. They literally are just ordering it for you and having it shipped to you. No cost to them. So the scammer, if they're using this method, which they always are, is making all the money. Or they're not even using the drop shipping method, they're just not sending you anything. So either or, but drop shipping is used in a lot of these kind of brands. Now, I'm not saying it is necessarily bad. A lot of bigger brands that you're probably aware of, AliExpress and like I said, Wish.com, they're all drop shippers. So essentially they don't carry inventory. They have sellers. You place the order through them and it's shipped out to you from someone else. It's not actually manufactured by AliExpress or by Wish, which is absolutely acceptable. It's a good business plan in ways because it makes you money without having to spend a bunch of money. But unfortunately, anyone that wants to make a Shopify account, website, or have an Instagram like little website and link it to their Shopify can kind of use this method. It's really easy. So therein, that's kind of the bad thing about drop shipping and why I don't really like it for that purpose, because it's so easy for anyone to just say, hey, I'm a brand, I can sell you this product. It's part of my inventory, when it's really not. Like I said, they're just ordering some piece of shit probably from Wish.com and sending it to you. So therein, you may get it, you may not get it, or they're just using a random manufacturer probably in China and you'll never see that product. But that's kind of how drop shipping works, and a lot of these brands are using that method. Now, if you want to know about how to avoid them, like I said, when you go into your DMs on Instagram, really read the message. It's always going to start off the same. It's always going to be, hey, I looked at your profile. You're so beautiful. We think you'd be perfect. Or it's going to start with like, hey, I'm a brand manager. Hey, I work for this brand. Hey, it's going to start off with something along those lines, and they're always going to be really friendly to you and make you feel like you're super special, because that kind of butters you up and you think, wow, they really like me. They like my content. This is amazing. But in actuality, it's a generic message that they send to every single person. Like if you reach out to them, they'll send you that message. Or if they reach out to you, they're going to send you that same generic message. It goes to anyone and everyone, and that's how they kind of like scam on you. And if you don't realize that, it's very easy to fall into that and actually go along with it. But yeah, definitely like check how it's written. And also another red flag is generally a legit brand will reach out to you through your email. So if you do have a business Instagram or any type of Instagram, usually you'll attach your email, and that's where brands will reach out to you. So, and a lot of times they will actually send you a contract if they are going to actually collaborate with you, pay you money, or send you product. They're going to send you a contract that you have to read through and agree upon. Not always, but generally. So keep that in mind as well. Usually it's going to be an email, not a DM on Instagram, or a comment definitely under your photo. No. So another red flag is also if they mention that you have to pay shipping. So anytime one of these companies says you have to pay shipping, it's probably a scam brand, because they're just offering you something free because you still have to pay them essentially, because they're going to take money out of that shipping fee. So chances are if you have to pay shipping to be a brand ambassador, you shouldn't have to pay anything first off. So that's another thing. You shouldn't have to pay anything to be a brand ambassador. If they want you to be a brand ambassador, there are legit brand ambassador companies. They don't ask you to pay anything. They just approve of whether you can join or not. So you should not have to pay anything is the big kind of red flag. Like if they ask you to pay for it, it's probably a scam. Another way you can actually pick out whether a brand is legit or not is not only check their following, check if they're a verified Instagram account, because generally a bigger Instagram account with a lot of followers is verified. If they're not verified, that's a pretty big red flag that they're not an actual like top-notch brand. Now, I'm not saying every brand that's not verified isn't legit, because there are smaller brands out there, but that is a good way to check when they're offering you something like this if they are legit. But that is a good way. if they do reach out to you and they're talking about their follower count, definitely check if they're verified. If they're not verified, there is a good chance, unfortunately, that they aren't a great brand to work with. So that is one way to check on Instagram. Just make sure they have that little blue check mark to see if they are verified. And then also, if you actually go to their page and there's not a lot of photos, or it seems like they've recently started the page, but they still have a lot of followers, or maybe they don't have a lot of followers, those are other red flags you can look at. And always check out their website. Always click on it, check on the website, look at the prices, and then if you see pictures on there, do a reverse photo search on Google. Guarantee it's a stock photo, and you'll find that out by doing that. So that's like a good way. Just like I said, do research is the main thing. And also, if it seems too good to be true, chances are it's too good to be true. That's like the main thing to always remember when something seems too good to be true. It's probably too good to be true. But yeah, I wanted to come on here and tell you guys about Palmpe. I wanted to tell you to avoid them, and I hope I gave you some general info, not only on them, but other Instagram brands. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you do give me a thumbs up. It does help my channel. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to become part of my YouTube family. I usually do a lot of beauty content, but I've recently been kind of getting into talking about some of these scammy brands. So if you have one in particular you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments and I will do a little research on them. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.